All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to rev up our businesses with Team Cup. And I know we have some new coaches who just joined us here in August. And if you're not on a Team Cup team, that is okay. I still want you to take advantage of Team Cup. If you don't know what Team Cup is, basically it's like a group of people working together to try to get as many points as they can, working on building their business, working on helping more people, and just spreading more positivity. So, uh, as in Team Cup, we have teams of 5 people, and you can earn points for hitting Success Club. So every Success Club point that you earn is a Team Cup point. And every rank advancement that you get a point. And if you're a sponsor coach and you have someone in your downline who also advances in rank, you also get a point for that too. So there's a lot of different ways to earn points, or I guess those are the couple of different ways to earn points. But I think more so, sometimes as a coach, we get kind of more wrapped up in points versus what we actually need to do in order to help people. So tonight we're just going to kind of talk about some of those strategies, and really just getting to know our challengers and getting to know our potential coaches that are out there and that need this. So I want everyone really quick in the chat box to comment, did you start as a challenger first or did you start as a coach? Challenger, coach, challenger. Nick, do you start as a challenger or as a coach?
Challenger.
Okay. Awesome. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about how you started, and the people who are most like you are going to be more likely to join you with how you started. So if you kind of needed to dip a toe in the water and kind of see what challenge groups were, kind of get a little bit of an idea of what the coaching community was about, and kind of see results happening for yourself before you took the plunge into becoming a coach, you need to think about the same thing for people that you are trying to help. They're probably not going to spontaneously be like, I'm ready to sign up as a coach. Whereas Rhiannon and myself, I looked at the opportunity as I was ready for change. I needed accountability, and I knew that if I announced it to the world that I was doing this, that I would stick to it, and that people would either be watching for me to fail or waiting for me to thrive. So I just take in what you did and just know that whoever you're trying to attract, whoever you're trying to help, they're probably going to want to do the same process. But now I also look at it, Rhiannon, Kaylee, Nick are all my personally sponsored coaches, and they're also kind of a mix. So you will have a little bit of variation, but if you're someone who took that plunge right away, not everyone is going to want to take that plunge like you did. So, so this month, with it being Team Cup, we're going to try to get a little uncomfortable. Okay? We're going to try to up the ante a little bit and try to make your goals happen faster. And here's what's going to happen as a result. You are going to up what you normally set aside for yourself. So if you're someone that every month you're like, my goal is to help one person. And let's say this month you're like, you know what? I'm going to help 5 people this month. I'm going to have 5 people join my challenge group. I'm going to have them get started, on Beachbody on Demand, or I'm going to help them with their fitness, nutrition. What that's going to do is that's going to set the bar higher for you for next month, and it's going to give you a confidence booster from here on out that you are capable of doing more than you originally thought. And it's just a fun way. You have a group of people cheer each other on, and even if like I said, I know we have people on here who aren't on a Team Cup. We are also part of Team Heart and Hustle. So if you see someone rocking it on their social media, comment on there, you know, cheer them on, and let's just build some momentum. So right now is kind of when I'm going to open up a little bit of for ideas. So I want you to think about how you normally, okay, I'm backing up really quick. One of our vital behaviors is to invite, but in order to invite, we have to know what we're inviting to. So really quick, in your comments, I want you to write down what is something you are inviting to right now. Challenge groups. Be specific, like what challenge group, when is it? September challenge group and sneak peek. Awesome. Yeah, for challenge groups, you definitely have to think a month ahead. So September is what we're planning for right now. August, fall in love with yourself challenge group. Awesome. Steph, if it's at the end of August, we're still good. If you're starting at the end of August, you're good. Upcoming challenge group starting August 14th, 14-day, and then coaching opportunity. Always out of your comfort zone. We're going to talk about this tonight. Don't worry. 21-day clean eating and fitness challenge still adding to this group that's going. Okay. So, there are a couple of different ways to, so we have challenge groups and we have coaching opportunity that we're going to invite people to. So challenge group, let's kind of talk about some ideas here. And if you have any ideas, feel free to unmute yourself and kind of chime in a little bit. I would recommend creating an event page for a challenge group. The reason I like this is because you can go in and select people from your friends list and invite them to that group. But I want you to know if this, so this is an easy way just to kind of see if people are interested. So people either hit interested, going, or not attending. If they hit interested or going, you should definitely start up a conversation with them and start doing some goal setting. I always like to think of it this way. Be interested, not interesting. And this is a really, really hard thing as a coach because we're in the trenches right now. We're working on getting transformations. We're working on getting healthier. And so we are so excited about it that it oftentimes causes us to word vomit all over people. And all of a sudden you click enter, you know, typed out a bunch of some things, and then it's like the lengthiest message you ever saw. And when your challengers or potential challengers open that up and they see a novel, they're going to get overwhelmed. So instead of being interesting, which your story truly matters, but your story, you're going to be sharing that on your social media. They're going to be following you through that. When you're having a one-on-one conversation, ask more questions. So great questions to ask are, what are your current goals? What are your biggest struggles? This next one's one of my favorite questions. If you had a magic wand and could change 3 things about yourself, what would you change? You'll be amazed at how every single answer on that, all 3 answers are about their body, almost every time. If I had a magic wand and could change 3 things about myself, what would you change? And I always ask, are you currently working with another coach? And have you ever used any Beachbody programs before? Another great question to ask is, have you ever been successful at a health journey before? Why did you like it? And then why did you fall off? So if you can get, yeah, Rihanna, go ahead.
Do you still use that questionnaire thingy-mabobber?
Yes, I
Okay.
always use that. So I have an application I actually use with people. So anytime I have someone show interest in a challenge group, I get their email, because the reason I get their email, and I have a separate Beachbody email, and I like that because we never know if Facebook is all of a sudden one day going to be done. We don't know if someday Instagram is just going to decide to shut down. So it's really a good idea to have an email list. So I always get people's emails, and then what I do is I send them my WooFoo form, and you can write this down. It's free. It's spelled WUFOO.com. And those are the questions I have on that application form. So literally they fill it out on this website, and then I get an email notification that they filled it out. I'm saving myself probably an hour of messenger time going back and forth, trying to dig a little deeper with them every single time. So when I actually go back and have a conversation with them, I can say, hey, I see that your struggle is that you struggle with going out to eat. You struggle with stopping and getting fast food. I would love to work with you. I have a few ideas on how I can help you get over this, this solution. And I always like asking, like, if I gave you a workout program and a meal plan that would help you meet this need, would you follow it? And they always say yes. They want help. If they're willing to fill out the application, they want help. So definitely ask more questions. And I mean, if you ever have, don't feel like you have to stick to those questions. Those are questions that have worked really well for me and have helped me get a better understanding of how I can help someone more or help someone better on their journey. So event pages. So another thing to do on there is, if you have someone decide that they are going to do, let's say they decide to do the All Access Pass, and they're like, yes, I'm in, I'm ready to do Shakeology, I'm ready to commit to workouts for the next year. In your event page, go ahead and make a graphic, kind of like what we do in Heart and Hustle, like welcoming a new coach. Make a graphic and say, Zoe's all in. She just got the All Access Pass. She's committing to a year full of workouts. She's so excited to, invest in her dense nutrition shake. And we're, so excited to have her in our September challenge group. So give people that shout out, because a lot of times people are just sitting back and watching. They're not quite sure if they want to take that plunge, but if they see people around them all of a sudden committing to doing this and using those products, they're going to be more likely to take that leap too. And then, so I would say, if you are an event page, what I would do is I would not invite everyone at once. I would kind of put it into your power hour, and I would select maybe like 20 new people a day and invite them, because that's going to help you keep conversations going. And that way, if you invited your whole friends list the very first day, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I had 50 people say that they want to go to this event. I don't have that much time in my day to talk to 50 people and really truly find out what their goals are and help them get started. And then the last way the other thing I would do, you can either do personal messages, where you actually do like a cold invite and you say, hey, Lisa, thank you so much for liking my fitness post. I appreciate the love. I actually have a challenge group starting this next month. We're a group of people who are trying to find balance with a healthy lifestyle. We like to support and cheer each other on in this journey. Would you be interested in learning more? That would just be like a random message to somebody. So, and since it's Team Cup, like I'm terrified of cold invites. I absolutely hate doing them. I would much rather get to know someone first and slowly incorporate, once I get to know them, like, hey, have you ever thought about doing my challenge group or becoming a coach? Like, you'd be really good at this. I prefer to really get to know somebody, but the whole point of Team Cup is pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to start doing cold invites every day, 5 cold invites every single day. I'm just pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And then also making sure that you're doing invite posts on your social media. So it always works best if you use a picture of yourself. If you do an invite to either coaching or an invite to a challenge group. And what always works best is if you share your story with it. So kind of paint a picture for it. Kind of talk about things that you used to struggle with before, or if you're just starting, talk about what you're excited to tackle. So, Steph, I actually have one already posted in the group for a script. I will tag you guys in it after this. Just remind me. So, does anybody have any tips or anything that works really well for them with either cold invites or doing event pages? Or anything on conversations that's going well, posts? I know you guys do.
Riley and I build a lot of momentum in our event pages. So we're going live, explaining a lot of people that I've reached out to in the past that have told me no for challenge groups, or first time reaching out to them. They're really uncertain as to what it is. So I have my cousin, for instance, she's kind of like, yeah, I've invited her before. She's curious about it. I'm going to message her and just tell her to check out the event page. And then she can decide from there. She's getting a taste of kind of what the challenge group is. And then I went live in there explaining what it is, taking down all the fear of what a challenge group is. So we build momentum up until the actual challenge starts. So we usually start that like 1 to 2 weeks prior to the event itself.
So smart. I like that idea a lot. It's always good to team up with people. If you are not teaming up with someone and you kind of struggle being consistent, like posting, you know, if you are worried about being consistent in like an event page, team up with somebody. If you don't have a group, I am running a challenge group. The prep week starts August 28th. And the actual group starts that first Monday. I don't know what the actual date is, but we're doing the Miracle Morning. By the way, if you have not read that book and you struggle with being a morning person, you need to read it. It's amazing. Miracle Morning. It's really good. So if you want in on that, let me know. I'd be happy to get you in that one. So, okay. So earlier, I'm just going to mention this because I forgot to say this earlier. When I was talking about like digging deep and figuring out how you can help people more by asking them more questions, you want to find out what their why is. And there's actually a national wake-up call that Vito Lafata did. He is in our upline. He's from Team Rockstar Fit. I cannot remember what the title is, but he did a phenomenal job of breaking down why it's so important to really dig deep with your challengers and your coaches. He had like an example of people talking about how, like, he would ask them, you know, well, why do you want to lose weight? And they said, well, I want to lose weight for my wedding. And usually you'd just be satisfied with that answer. Like, oh yeah, like most brides want to be their fittest for their wedding. But he goes deeper and he continues to ask her questions like, how would that make you feel if you got to that? Like, really, why is it that you want to get fit for your wedding? How would it make you feel if you didn't do anything about it? So if you want more on that, check out, it looks like he has one on YouTube. And then the National Wake Up Call one too. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's from a couple years ago. So you just have to keep scrolling back. All right. Share scripts. That's funny you said that, Steph. I have that highlighted in here. So I have a packet. It's in the files tab. By the way, if you ever need a resource from any of the team pages, towards the top, I believe it's like top left corner now, there's a space for files, and you can search up any file that has ever been posted to the team page. Team Rockstar Fit's an awesome one if you're looking for new challenge groups. A lot of times people will full on post an entire challenge group in the files tab. So that's a great resource for you to use. Let me see. Okay. And you've noticed that Rhiannon has been posting the Win the Week. Print that form off. It is super eye-opening when you start actually like marking it down and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this enough. That is a great resource. She's doing check-ins on Mondays for that. So if you haven't printed that off, I laminated mine. You can also use one of the little sleeve sheet protectors so that you don't have to print off a million copies of it and use it each week. But that's just going to be a really fun, easy way for you to kind of keep track of your vital behaviors. Okay. And then there's also a Go for No sheet. If you've not read that book and you struggle with hearing the word no, read that book. Sorry, I'm giving you guys a lot of information tonight, but like, don't feel like you have to do it all this month. You're going to build momentum now and have all these extra resources that you can do it in September, you can do it in October, whenever. And then, sorry, I've got a lot of really random notes. You're just going to have to deal with it. I heard this earlier today, and I want to say that I've heard it before, but I don't think I ever actually like really took it in. And they said to read personal development before you do invites, right? Invites are super scary sometimes. So if you go into it with, having just scrolled the social media and, scrolling the news feed, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I really want to send this person an invite. I'm going to scroll over maybe and do a follow-up with someone who I've already talked to who showed some interest. Reading or listening to some personal development before will kind of help get you over that edge and give you the confidence that you need to do that. And then something to keep in mind is that when people actually say no, I've always heard this, no means not yet, but those people who say no are going to be watching you. They're going to be watching your posts. They're still interested. They're just not quite ready. I actually have someone who became a discount coach, and on my event page one time, I had invited her to it, and she clicked going. And when I sent her a message and I said, hey, I saw that you're interested in doing this event. Could you kind of, fill me in on a little bit on what your current goals are and how I can help, that kind of thing. And she didn't respond. I saw that she saw it, and I was like, okay, that's all right. I'm just going to go on to the next one. Well, when she became a coach about 5 months later, she told me that when she opened up my message, she was currently holding on to a pan of brownies and eating the brownies, and thought to herself, I'm not ready for this yet. So it like, you can't take it personally. You just have to know they might not be mentally ready for this yet. So don't give up on those people. They might just be sitting there eating a pan of brownies. You don't know. So from here on out, just assume that pan of brownies is in their hand and someday they'll be ready. So, and then also make sure that you are reaching out to people each day. So start some new conversations, because I've had this happen so many times where I will message someone and they will say, "That's so weird that you messaged me, because I've been thinking about reaching out to you for the longest time." But they're too scared or too shy to do it. So make sure that you're always building those relationships. I'm almost through here. Okay. And then lastly, raise your hand if you're committing to doing at least one post a day. Okay? One post a day. Make sure that it is a clear, bright picture of you. People want to see you. They want to work with you. And that your post is adding value. Okay? Now, I would say you can have 3 different types of posts. To inform, to entertain. What's the other one? There's one more. Help me out. I know you guys know it. Nick, you're all
Educate.
Educate. Or no, isn't it inform and educate? Is that the same thing? Inspire. That's the other one. Thank you. Yes. So those 3 things are the things you should be posting about, and making them true to yourself. So, and every 3rd post should be something health related, whether it's coaching, whether it's your workout, whether it's a healthy meal or recipe that you tried. Every 3rd post should be something health related. Can someone repeat all of those? So inspire, inform, why can I never remember the 3rd one? Inspire, inform, and
Entertain.
entertain, which is what I'm doing to all of you right now. It's great. Thank you. So yeah, those are some ideas. So now you need to decide, okay, I've heard all the information. I know on how to invite people. You know, I have the idea of doing event pages. Now, up the ante this month. So if you normally reach out to 2 people a day, bump it up a little bit more. Okay? So tonight, what I want you to do, I'm gonna put it on our, we'll take a picture and I'll put a list of things that, you know, invites or coaching posts or challenge group posts. And I want you to comment below on how many per day or per week. Some people like to do like the win the week instead. That's totally fine. But consistency is key. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. This week, I had 3 people reach out to me. One of them was actually one of my new coaches. She actually signed up to be a coach. I'd never talked to her before. And within an hour, she messaged me and said, "Hey, I signed up to be a coach. I'm wondering on how to learn more about what coaching is or how to get started." And like, she hadn't talked to anyone. And so I was like, okay, she knew to reach out to me because she knew I was a coach, because I'm consistent. I'm constantly talking about the coaching opportunity. I'm constantly talking about how I love helping people and inspiring people and helping them along their journey. So she knew to reach out to me. I had 3 people this week message me asking me for help. Now that's rare. If you are doing this business and you're sitting around waiting for people to message you, it's going to be a long road. Okay. But it feels so awesome when somebody messages you and it's a reflection on what you're doing. People should be able to go to your profile and within 3 posts be able to tell that you're a coach. or not necessarily a coach, but interested in health and fitness, and that you can help them in some way. So, does anybody have anything they want to add or any questions? I'm like Miss Rambly tonight. This is not like me. I haven't even had anything to drink. Like this is just pure Lauren rambles tonight. We're still
I want to invite, a lot of you have been on the 5 a.m. Power hours. And to be quite honest with you, so I had this brilliant idea because I've been struggling to get up at 5 a.m. So like, I'm just going to hold myself accountable and put it out there so other people know I'm doing this thing. And literally, I almost forgot until Brittany asked for the Zoom link the other night. I'm like, oh shit, Andy, like, I really got to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I got to do this. And today, I didn't want to get up. I'm like, I got to do it because people are waiting on me. So if you want to join us, it's working well. We're 2 days into it now. But we're going to do it for 3 weeks because 3 weeks helps make it a habit. So
love that idea.
Yes.
Yeah, accountability is great. And like I said, if you're not a morning person, if you're struggling with that, make sure you read or listen to Miracle Morning. He says something in there that really stuck with me, and it like was a punch to the stomach. He said, if you hit snooze and you're choosing to go to sleep versus getting up, it's like saying you'd rather be unconscious than live your life. And I was like, that hurts. That really hurts. Yeah, mic drop, 100%. So if you haven't read that, you need to read it. It's really good. So, anybody else? I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.